Now, in the meantime, the South African chapter of the Anti-Apartheid Movement for Palestine says it's concerned about Israel's total disregard of the ceasefire agreements by continuing to bomb Gaza and kill civilians. Reports indicate that more than 100 strikes were conducted and more than 30 Palestinians have been killed, and there is no intervention by the international community and the guarantors of the ceasefire agreements. Reports say Israel has also continued with the blockade of Gaza and denying or limiting aid for civilians in Gaza. Now, President of the SA chapter of the Anti-Apartheid Movement, Frank Chikane, joins us now to unpack this. You're welcome, sir. Now, Frank,
thank you very much.
Can you tell us, how do you think this breach impacts the prospects of a peace in the region?
Yeah, good evening. I just want to say I've never seen a peace agreement where they sign it and it's guaranteed by a number of countries powerful, and then the agreement gets breached and you've got 100 strikes. You then bomb a family of 9 and they are all dead. And then there is no outcry in the world. Nobody makes it headline news. But if one of the other parties from Palestine would have killed just one person, there would be headlines everywhere. There would be a call for hell to break loose in Gaza. And I think it's this bias that the world is demonstrating, which will not give us peace in Palestine. What we need is a commitment to peace, and the Palestinians are committed to that. And we must make sure that all the conditions are met, including allowing food to reach the people of Gaza. We need to make sure that the people of Palestine are not occupied as they are and are not blockaded, and that we give them the right, the inalienable right to self-determination. That is the only way in which you will have peace. You will not have peace if you rob people of their rights for 75, 77 years and blockade them and occupy them and expect no trouble. I think the world must take a stand and say to Israel, this must come to an end. This impunity of violating international law must not be allowed. No country must be allowed to violate international law. And if it was another country, it would have been rounded up by now. And this issue must come to an end. No country must be treated as a special case. And that's what we are saying. And we must end the pain of the Gaza people. I mean, you bomb people just randomly and they die as citizens, and we allow that to happen as a world. This is our call, and our call is that we must put pressure on Israel. We must apply comprehensive sanctions. We must make sure there is an arms embargo and force them to reach an agreement of allowing Palestinians to be able to determine their future.
Now, Mr. Chikane, I think we know that former Minister Naledi Pandor had kind of made it clear where we stood when she spoke for the nation on behalf of, South Africa. But I'd like to hear from you. What is South Africa's official stance on the recent developments? And of course, how has the current government responded?
Yeah, I mean, I can't represent government now because I'm no more in government. But I mean, the position of the government is very clear. That's why the South African government went to the International Court of Law. No country did it. South Africa did it because of our experience of apartheid and denial of rights. And that's why South Africa would take the same position that I am taking and the South African chapter is taking. Israel should not be allowed to continue occupying Palestine and blockading them and expect that nothing will happen, and then detain them and take them as hostages, because even the language is strange. They take people out of Palestinian territory into Israel without charges or anything. They don't call them hostages. Now the settlers are burning houses in West Bank. They are attacking Palestinians. They are stopping them getting to their olive fruits, that they need to get from the olive trees. And they are even burning the olive trees. And nobody says anything. I get the reports every day. And we need to stop it. And this is the position of South Africa. Fortunately, we have got a consensus in this country, except some few fringe groups, that injustice is injustice. It doesn't matter who commits that injustice.
Now, in 30 seconds, sir, what message do you think the international community should send to Israel and other parties involved in this particular conflict?
The message must be clear. The ceasefire must hold, and that agreements must be reached to end the siege, end the occupation, and allow Palestinians to be able to determine their future. That's the message they need to give. And if Israel doesn't, then they must apply full sanctions. And Israel will comply if we did that. And that's absolutely urgent.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insights on that.